And I just want to start off this segment with this video because this just explains the way how I feel right now and how I felt in the moment. Shout out to my boy Pookie.
What the fuck did I tell y'all, man? I told y'all we was getting Davante. Nobody wanted to motherfucking listen. Let's fucking go, man.
Me and my niggas trying to get it, you bitch. Yeah, bitch. That house, they tell me is you ready?
Raider Nation, stand the fuck up. It has fucking happened, bro. The Raiders have officially traded for Davante Adams. The deal, trade details. Raiders give up a first-round draft pick in the 2022 draft, that is this year, and a second-round pick in this year's draft. That's it. That's all they had to give up. Plus, they made this man the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history.
5 for 140 or something?
5 for 140-41, I believe. I have it on the screen, but it's hard to see. But
yeah, I mean,
28 mil a year.
So where do you want to start, Juan? Like, do you want to start about like who won the trade? Like, okay, so like where do you want to start? I don't know where to start.
I'm shocked. I'm fucking shocked, man.
Are you mad about what you gave up?
Not at all. Not at all.
For everyone out there who's thinking, wow, that's such a steal, it is in a sense, but it's also like if he had a contract, it would be maybe another first and another pick. But the Raiders had to pay him the money. They basically said, hey, we want this guy. We don't want him to get to the open market because we don't know what will happen. And the Packers were like, he's not going to play here next year. And you know, I heard he turned down more money in Green Bay because his lifelong dream was to be a Raider. And you can go like a myriad of ways, right? You could say, oh, Aaron Rodgers wore out his welcome. I doubt it's Rodgers' fault he's leaving. Rodgers took money and wanted him to get paid too. Right. Maybe it's just a lifestyle thing. You know, there's no comparison to living in a big city like Las Vegas compared to Green Bay. No shots. It's just a reality.
I think the writing on the wall, Max, and everyone kind of swept it under the rug because it's not the first time an athlete buys a home. It's kind of like remember when KG was a free agent and he bought a home in LA before he signed with the Celtics? Davante Adams, a couple of weeks ago, it was reported he bought a home in Las Vegas. I said, hey, he's an athlete. I mean, hey, who doesn't want a house in Las Vegas? It was kind of writing on the wall in a sense where Davante, from the reports that I was hearing, his plan all along was to go to Vegas, to go with the Raiders. And it was really only one team that was on his table. And the Packers were in a tough situation. The Packers wanted to keep him, but honestly, it sounded like the Raiders had him by the balls. Because the longer that they waited, the Raiders would have just outbid them in a sense. And I mean, essentially a first round pick and a second round pick. I think it was worth it.
It's not even a high pick. It's like the 25th pick in the draft.
Look, the positives, okay? I'll tell you all the positives and then we'll go over some of the negatives, some of the concerns. Positive number one. This is literally the best type of receiver for Derek Carr. You've seen it kind of with Michael Crabtree when Michael Crabtree came here. That possession receiver, that guy that can have those back shoulder throws, those jump up ball situations, like a guy that can run routes so beautifully. That's Davante Adams. You got the college connection there. They had receiving games sometimes for Davante in Fresno State for like 244 yards. Like these guys have a connection. Not to mention the fact, not only were they good on the field, they're fucking like best friends off the field. They've been close as friends. Number two positive. A first and a second. You can argue you're not going to get something better than Davante Adams at the number 22 overall pick in the draft. You're not. Correct. I don't care how fucking good the receiving core is in this year's draft. Another one, I would say the Raiders had to do this. They had to make big moves. You were saying it, Max. You were calling. I know you were kind of, you weren't saying it to the fact of like you knew it was already over, but you're just like, damn, like they got to make a move because the Chargers, J.C. Jackson, all those big time moves with Khalil Mack. You seen the Chiefs sign Justin Reed. You got Denver with the Russell Wilson trade. The Raiders had to make some swings, and it took some time. It didn't happen day one of the free agency, but they came out and it's a big sign of number one, Carr's the quarterback going forward.
Exactly what I was gonna say, bro. It just solidifies the Raiders' belief in Carr,
Yeah,
and we'll be interested to see what deal Derek Carr takes. I think, and you said it too. I believe he's gonna take a team-friendly deal, just in the sense where $35 million might seem like an outrageous number for Derek Carr, but that's a friendly deal for a team. You sometimes get stuck paying these quarterbacks $45 million. And Derek Carr, let's be real, the Raiders haven't been the best franchise towards him, especially when it comes to letting people question his job security and question, is he the guy? So I think it's entrenched with his play of this year, or this past season, I should say. He's the guy moving forward. Josh McDaniels has bought into Derek Carr. He got Davante Adams. You pair him with Hunter Renfrow. What did Josh McDaniels have won in New England for so many years? Edelman, Wes Welker, little jitterbug white guys who get open underneath.
Aaron Hernandez, RIP.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying he's got this. Yeah. He's got the slot guy, Hunter Renfrow. He even has that a little bit in Davante. Davante can play outside, and he's not going to be the guy who ever threatens a team with his speed, but he's going to work the intermediary, get open, and he's got Darren Waller, his version of Gronk.
And look,
a lot of coming together.
No, it really is. And I said all along with Josh McDaniels, I was not scared of the scheme. I was not scared of, oh my God, can this guy scheme up plays and be a good offensive coordinator for us? I'm not worried about that. It's all the other stuff. It's all about, communicating with players, handling business, all that off the field kind of stuff. On the field schematics, I'm sorry, before Sean McVay and Kyle fucking Shanahan, Josh McDaniels has been the best offensive coordinator. I don't care what anyone says. The Patriots, for years, it got covered up by number one, Tom Brady, and number two, Bill Belichick. Those guys got the majority of the credit, but Josh McDaniels has always been there, and he's a real respectable dude. So, I mean, I'm excited for the offense, man. It's really pick your poison. And the fact that the Raiders didn't have to give up a player, I was ecstatic, dude. I thought we were gonna have to give up a player at first from the first couple of reports. They were like, it's gonna be some picks and a player, but it wound up being just the 2 picks.
Well, you can go back to the the DeAndre Hopkins trade one. It wasn't even that much. It was a second and a third. And I get the Texans were just a shit organization, and Bill O'Brien sold the farm for nothing. No. But when these receivers require a huge salary, and that is one negative to me. I don't love the contract you gave him. He's a 29-year-old receiver. But you could say, hey, he's never going to be the guy. You don't have to worry about him losing his wheels because it's not like he had wheels to start with.
I was just going to say
he should age gracefully as a route runner, as a guy who just gets open. But I don't love giving that much money. But then again, if Carr takes a team-friendly deal, it kind of offsets. And you were saying Max Crosby took a team-friendly deal. So that kind of offsets. If Max Crosby's like, hey, I want 35, 32, hook it up.
And I think it's safe to say, Max, I think the fucking cap situation in the NFL is a bunch of fluff. Like, it's fucking phony. You see a bunch. Like, how the hell are the Saints going to be able to afford Deshaun Watson, who we'll get into a little bit later? Like, teams are just creating cap space easily.
Yeah, that's
just a bunch of bullshit. All they're doing is just pushing the money. Just, people like to use the saying of like they're just kicking the can down the alleyway. Like, yeah, that's all they're doing.
Also, too, when it's like, imagine you're in your room and your mom's like, hey, clean it up. Instead of like cleaning it up, you just throw it all in the closet. And at some point, you're going to have to open that shit. And you're like, uh-oh, there's all the deals we made. But teams are getting aggressive, and there's no division who's went all in more than the AFC West. The Raiders got into it today. We could throw in the Chandler Jones signing. It was yesterday. They got an edge rusher to go with Crosby. He's an upgrade from Yannick. They trade Yannick. They get a cornerback, a big physical corner who can kind of play man. Sounds like the Patriots. The Raiders making moves, man. And it started with Davante. He's the domino, and we're going to see where they play out.
You know, another thing about Davante, I know everyone's gonna compare him to a time where I would say he's not the first Raiders receiver to get picked up like big time.
AB?
Once upon a time, AB. Once upon a time, Randy Moss. Once upon a time, even Amari Cooper. Once upon a time, even Henry Ruggs. I mean, let's be real.
That's true.
I think the major difference with Davante Adams, and I wouldn't really throw in Ruggs because Ruggs is a special situation. This is more on the Randy Moss and AB situation. I think one of the big reasons why this will work is I think more than the play on the field, I think the character, the player that Davante is, the person, it's second to none. Like, he has actual character. Like, I was imagining today, like, Davante kind of fits that Patriots kind of player. Like, just shut up and do your job kind of thing. Like, I'm just gonna kick ass and take names and do my job kind of player. And I think that's why I'm happy with the contract. I'm not worried about it. Like you said, he'll age gracefully, you know, kind of like an Anquan Bolden, a Keenan Allen, guys who their game translates late into their career because his game is not based off speed. But I'm excited, dude. Hopefully the missing piece of all this is Stephon Gilmore. Right now, officially, as we're doing this podcast, they already offered him a contract. I hope he accepts it. I think that will be huge because the Raiders are not done. And I don't think that the whole AFC West is not done. It's gonna be crazy, dude. And Ziegler is fucking killing it, man. Hashtag fuck them picks. All right.
Shout out to Les Snead.
Look, I think it's obvious that like this dude, they're not playing. I don't think this. The thing that gets me is like, do you think John Gruden and Mike Mayock would have pulled this shit off? I don't think so. I really don't. I don't see him moving like that. I feel like Ziegler and McDaniels have a plan. They're sticking to it. And it doesn't feel like it's like based off just feeling like, oh, like spur of the moment. It doesn't feel that way. It feels like they have a plan. Like they were signing guys late, like guys who you're like, what the hell? Like, why would you sign him? Like Anthony Everett and Brandon Bolden. It's like, you know, they're just getting their guys. And I love it. I like it. I trust the Raiders, man. And I think Derek Carr is going to trust the Raiders. And that's why he's going to take less money. It's one thing for a player to do that with taking the less money, but you got to be able to trust your organization. It's like, okay, I'm going to take less money. The fuck are you going to do with it? You guys are going to make big time moves? And I think Ziegler was like, yeah, just watch and see. We'll get you Davante Adams. Don't worry. Take less money. Let's see what happens. You want to be a champion? Look at Tom Brady. Took less money. Makes a sacrifice for the team. It's not a coincidence that Tom Brady takes less money and his fucking team's almost in the Super Bowl every other year. Not a coincidence.